call them multiple exposures because you may be combining more than one thing. So I'm going to walk you through the process, and whenever you're ready, you can open this double exposure ditty right here. It'll ask you to make a copy, and what you're going to see is this. I've opened up the PDF version just for people who don't have the best internet exposure. So it says to choose 2 photos that you have taken that you think would look interesting, layered on top of each other and seen simultaneously through each other. And then you're going to open Pixlr E. So Pixlr E. You're going to go to Open Image, like you normally would. And of course, here I was suggesting that you guys open some images or have them ready, and I didn't have anything ready. So I'm just looking through my downloads. Here we go. Here's a nice image. I'm going to open that one. Whenever possible, always open your full-size image. Waiting. Feel free to interrupt me with any questions as we go. And you can either do this with me, or you can do it after I'm done demonstrating. And of course, Pixlr is slow to open. All right, there we go. So there is my image. Now, on the same photo, you're going to open another image as a layer. And I can't remember if we've done this before. So you go to Layer, Add Image as Layer, and then it bumps you back to either your downloads or your desktop. So I'm going to scroll down and choose a second image. I'm going to take the snowy scene, and I'm going to open it. Now, what you're going to see is that I have one image on top and obscuring the other. So I'm going to shrink this top one, and I purposefully chose one that was vertical and one that was horizontal because I wanted to show you what happens when you do that. You have a couple of options. One is to shrink them so they're about the same size and then crop them later. The other is to, enlarge it or blow it up so that they both cover the same amount. And that's kind of an aesthetic decision that you'll have to make. So now you're saying to yourself, but this doesn't look good. I'm seeing both images at the same time. So what you do is you can unlock the bottom layer just because later on you might want to move it. You don't have to do that at this point. But then make sure you are still selected on your top layer, meaning it's blue or this teal color. And then you're going to click these 3 little dots, and these are called layer settings. And you're going to come down to where it says blend mode, and you're just going to pick one of the modes. So I know from experience that screen works beautifully. And so I'm going to open it up a little bit so you can see more of it. So now you can see one image through the other. Now, because my top image is it's very white, I might try a couple of different versions of it, like there's darken. But I don't really like that either. So at this point, you're going to sort of play around with the 2 of them, see which ones you like the most. You can get some really beautiful effects. And like I'm doing with this one, I'm sort of moving it around to try to find where it will look interesting. You can also play with your transparency. So this bar up here, whoops, nope, that's not it. This bar right here, the transparency, will allow you to see more or less of what's underneath. And you can also reorganize your layers. So you can put one layer on top of the other. Now, because this is the one that has the mode something other than none, this one is on top and it is not transparent. I could just actually slide the transparency, but it doesn't work as well as playing with some of these. So go ahead and take 2 photos, open one of them. Ooh, that's kind of cool. And you can really just go right down through this list. You'll see it looks very different if you have 2 color photos than if you have a black and white and a color. Like mine is not exactly black and white, but because it was a snow scene, it kind of appears black and white. And you can play around with the order. So when you get your everything in order, if you have extras around the edge like mine, what I'm going to do is just bring it in and crop it so that I'm only seeing the one part. But before I do that, I want to make sure that I've got this one in the right place. Because it'll change based on, ooh, there we go, get those branches in there. All right, so go ahead and start to play around with 2 images. When you have one that you think looks good, you can upload it and let me know. If you don't get all the way through this today, it's homework. And who has questions? I'm sure somebody out there must have a question or two.